Hello. Today we visit r/AskReddit to see what's the dumbest reason someone broke up with you. Make sure to comment what is your worst breakup excuse. With that, sit back and enjoy. Because her friends broke up with their boyfriends. I had a good friend, at least I thought so at the time, break up with her boyfriend and wanted me to break up with my new boyfriend at the time. I said no. She never spoke to me again. Her reasoning: loyalty means everything. By the way, my boyfriend of the time. He's my husband. We've been together 9 years and 2 kids. LMAO, what kind of loyalty is that? This is like, my life is ducked up. So should yours. So break up with your beautiful life. Any update on the old friend? She blocked me on all social media, but a couple of years ago I heard through the grapevine she had gotten married and divorced. Who knows? If I'm honest, I don't really care. She didn't want to get divorced, but her best friend got divorced and loyalty means everything. She met someone that she immediately saw herself marrying. A month after we broke up, she moved across the country, got married, called me to tell me she made a mistake, got divorced, moved back home, got pregnant and then got married again. Her current age, 22. One thing that I've noticed is that those who have an easy time getting into a relationship will typically just never be single and will constantly enter new relationships. Serial monogamists. Literally never just alone. They can easily just find someone else like you and I change our socks or some shit. It's unreal. Meanwhile, I am 22 and I never dated someone. Given her story, I am kinda fine with that. And I am 25. Given her story, I guess I am kinda fine with not getting in a relationship. I visited my dad while he was in hospital with cancer. She broke up with me because I was visiting my dying dad instead of visiting her. I feel like I dodged a major bullet. You dodged a ducking plane. More like a nuke. No joke. Her mood ring changed colors. I hope you were a kid when that happened. Otherwise, OMG. 16. My first boyfriend came over and dumped me on my front porch. He said he didn't like my lisp. He also had a lisp. Edit. Tomi of you are though inthenthetive. Hith loath. That thucks. Thori. I dated a woman for about a year and helped her finish her PhD. I proofread and wrote some of her thesis. After she received the degree, she broke up with me. She said she didn't feel comfortable, that she was better educated than I was. She's gonna have a narrow pool of people to choose from looking for other single PhDs in her age range. She married a Taco Bell manager. There isn't anything narrow about her anymore. There's something here around perceived personal value. I too had someone graduate and change the dynamics of the relationship. Didn't work out any better for them. Ego is a hell of a drug. Dr. Nachos. Third or fourth date. Till then, everything had actually seemed pretty great. I took her to the movies, asked if she wanted butter on her popcorn. Get back to the seat. Hand it to her, she takes a bite and spits it out comically like into the row of seats in front of us. Then yells at me, loud. So the people she just spit on already get even more of the experience ruined along with whoever they are sitting with. Is there ducking butter on this? I said, yeah, like you said. Like I said? I distinctively said, nah, not, yeah, how could you? Then she walked out of the date and our relationship, with the ducking popcorn. It wasn't the popcorn. I wasn't jealous enough. She was meeting with one friend a lot. Told her it made me uncomfortable, but I trusted her. Apparently, if I had been more jealous, aka controlling, she would not have broken up. Duck me for being a trusting person. Dodged a cannonball there. People that feel the need to test their partners like this don't deserve partners. Agreed. I see testing as you being openly, immaturely disrespectful and belittling towards your partner. It's immature and weird. Because he got a new job that had him traveling a lot for work, and felt I was holding him back, being at our apartment back home. That breakup blew my whole life up, cause we were an international couple and I had moved to his country to be with him. So I had to move all the way back to my own country to start over after 6 years abroad. Spoiler, he came crawling back to me a few months later when he was lonely and begged me to come back. I obviously did not. Dated a girl for a very short time. One night she came over and started going on and on about her ex. How he was so controlling, manipulative, etc., and that she felt like I was going to be just like him because both he and I grew up on a farm, and we both liked cars. So yeah, I guess I dodged a bullet there. You know who also liked cars? Hitler. Haha, gotcha now. Don't fact check me on this. No, keep going. You're onto something here. You know what? Hitler liked animals. And guess what you find on a farm? You're goddamn right. Animals. I told her not to drink and drive. Legit. I don't want to ride in a vehicle with someone drinking and driving. Car was too old. Dropped her, car is still chugging along. The ironic part is that very often the type of girl who complains about her boyfriend's car would be taking the bus if it wasn't for his car. The ducked up part is, she was driving a nice shiny new car that her parents bought her. Guess she didn't want to look like a peasant next to me. When I was in 2nd grade, I had a girlfriend. There was a kid in my class that had a crush on her. He told her that he hasn't pooped since he was like 2 years old. I couldn't compete with that, and the next day, he was her boyfriend. Lol. Wow, so she left you for the guy who was admittedly and allegedly full of shit. Reminds me of a time in 5th grade when my friend told me about how he diarrheaed on the wall. You've been really sad ever since I cheated on you, and I don't like that, so bye. Same. I found out he cheated on me months after the fact. I attempted to break up with him, but I was young and thought I was in love, so I stayed when he promised he would make it up to me, until he texted me a few days later saying he didn't like knowing that he was the reason I was sad all the time, and then he blocked me. She broke it off to try and be with a guy at her job. He told her he wouldn't go out with someone already in a relationship. He was trying to be nice and not cause trouble. She didn't get the guy and she lost her job because she made a big scene about not getting what she wanted. I'd say I was the lucky one in that situation, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. She sent me a breakup text as she was jumping into some other guy's backseat. I got the story a couple hours later through a mutual friend who was there. The next day she called wanting to get back together. Basically, she just wanted to cheat guilt-free. We were on a break. Please tell me you didn't get back with her? Of course not. I told her to lose my number and haven't spoken to her since. I've been guilty of thinking with my dick a time or 10, especially at the age I was then, but I'm not a complete idiot. A friend's boyfriend broke up with her before a weekend away with some friends, knowing a girl that wanted to duck him would be there also. He went on the trip, ducked the girl, came back and wanted to try it again with my friend. They are married now. Not me, but my sister got dumped because the dude had gotten a nicer car, and told her that now he felt he needed a prettier girlfriend than she was. Wow, that's ducking awful. 2 months into dating a girl, I accidentally spilled some melatonin out of my backpack on her bedroom floor. She was like, "What are those pills?" Accusations of me being a drug addict, I wasn't, and then blocked me on everything. What do you mean you need to sleep? Is that some kind of code for something? Is that your street slang? For real though, I could see someone taking downers and the slang being, getting sleeped. Hey bro, what are you up to tonight? I'm just staying in and getting sleeped. She probably told all her friends about her narrow escape with a drug pusher. You don't trust me, he had his ex over and let her sleep in his bed. Edit, because it seems confusing. He had his ex sleep over with him in his bed, and later when I was like what the duck, he dumped me for that. Because if I trusted him I wouldn't care, in his mind? Sounds really shitty, I wouldn't accept that. I was 17 so I just cried a lot. I didn't agree that his favorite pizza brand was good. Are we talking local spot, chain restaurant, or frozen? It matters. Chain restaurant. They'd really gone downhill in quality, and I said that, and the look he gave me was more disgusting than the pizza. I love you. You're the best man I've ever met, and I hope whoever I end up with is just like you. Just not you. Then she kissed me and said she'd miss me terribly. Such a mind duck. She was the one, until this moment. A few months later, I met my now wife. So thank God for that. They saw a car pulled over with a flat tire and took it as a sign from God. I think they were just looking for any reason to get out of the relationship. Using this one though as a bit creative. You are probably right. A simple, "we are not compatible," would have been a lot easier to digest. My girlfriend in kindergarten broke up with me because I wouldn't sleep next to her during nap time. That one still stings. I feel you. My girlfriend in kindergarten left me because I wouldn't give her the brontosaurus I was playing with. Straight heartless. Basically. She went goth by 4th grade. I was with this girl for like 3 years at the time, and she hated when I'd spend time with my friends or if I did anything without her. I didn't even see my friends that often, and I encouraged her to go see her friends and find things to do because it's not healthy to do literally everything together. One day she calls me and is like, "That's it, I've had it, you need to pick. It's either me or your friends." I'm like, "Are you seriously gonna make me pick between my friends I've known for years before I even met you or spend all my time with you?" She says yes, and I paused for about 10 seconds and said them, and hung up. For the record, I wouldn't have picked my friends over her, but that fact she made me choose is what made me pick them. When forced to choose a side, always choose the side that didn't force you to choose a side. I started getting gray hairs at 20. She broke up with me because she wasn't into having a GILF. She was a year older than me. I kissed him first. We had been on 3 dates and I thought it was time. The third date was at my house. He kept tickling me, looking at my lips, leaning in close. I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and he never crossed the distance. I figured he must have been nervous or shy, so I made the move. He immediately came up with a reason to leave, and then ghosted me saying he was sick, then in the hospital. We went from talking every day to days of silence, so I basically beat his door down just to know he was okay. And that's when he told me, the girl should never kiss the guy first, and he was just super weirded out that I would take that from him. Bullet. Dodged. I told them not to cheat on me again. Seriously, I said I wouldn't break up with them if it didn't happen again, and then they broke up with me because they don't like ultimatums. They sound like a real winner. It's ironic when you think about it. Usually people have to dodge a bullet, but in this case the bullet pushed me out of the way of itself. Because he dad found out I listen to metal and have tattoos, that's not wholesome enough for his daughter. So she dumped me and found a good Christian boy that likes country music. Incidentally, he also ended up going to prison for meth trafficking and got the ex-girlfriend thrown in prison with him as she was driving her car with the 38 pounds of methamphetamine in the trunk. Lol. Met a gal online, had a great first date, spent the night then the next couple of days with her. Then, spent a weekend with her and some extended family, and later went to her friend's cookout with her. All is going swimmingly. Then, a few days after a dinner together, she says she needs to listen to what the universe is telling her. She had gotten a flat tire, then had some other car trouble, lost a bracelet, and I had accidentally broke a pull chain on her ceiling fan. These happened within a few weeks of each other. I guess it was more than she could handle, because she flat out said it all happened because she met and was hanging around me. Well, none of this was happening before I met you. Say what? Sucked. I really liked her. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching all the way until the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what is your worst breakup excuse. Until next time.